Hi there, welcome to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio, if you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there's a link in the description box to a site where you can find out your entire birth chart. That way, if for any reason this doesn't appeal to you this week, you can check out your Moon and Rising sign reading for the week, see if that resonates better. That being said, I do hope this appeals to you and you find it helpful. I'll be doing a 5-card spread using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here, and then drawing additional messages from the Healing with the Angels Oracle and the Medicine Card Tarot. This is a general reading for Scorpio for the week of May 16th to the 22nd. And when I say general, I just mean that if whatever prominent in your life this week, Scorpio, whether that's health, travel, business, romance, etc., I encourage you to apply the messages here to whatever is most prominent, and I do hope that that is helpful and healing. All right, so let's say a little prayer before beginning. I wish for Scorpio all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I ask God to please bless this reading for Scorpio. So like I said, this is a 5-card spread. We're just looking for 4 more jumpers in the central position, which represents you, Scorpio. We have the Serendipity card. You're being carried away on something here. There's not a lot of effort being exerted for the week. You might even feel taken care of, or that you can relax now, whether you are going to let yourself relax. We'll see what the rest of the spread says about that. But it looks like you have a great opportunity to relax this week. So if you feel that that's in store for you and you would be helped by that, please take that opportunity for yourself. And then in your most recent past, you have exchanging gifts. You you definitely feel this way because you've been given a lot of support here. What's interesting is I find about the word gift is that another term we use for it in the English language is present. And sometimes this could just mean about being in the present with someone who's very important to you. I'm going to suggest that this person is female or very feminine, and that you're also very close to them. If for whatever reason these messages are resonating in a mirror effect where the messages, the cards, the terminology appeals to you and resonates with you, except it's being projected onto you and you're not projecting it onto the world, that could be happening as well, Scorpio. But I am reading as though it's your central position and this is your circumstance. So in the external or conscious position here, you have time for a nap. It looks like you might be giving yourself a chance to rest this week, which is lovely because it doesn't look like there's a great need for exertion. Like I said, you're currently in serendipity, riding high, riding free on decisions that you've just made or have come to fruition. And I think that you are ready and able to take a nap. In fact, your body your body might feel tired. You might have low energy this week or for several days this week. And I think that is a really beautiful chance for you, Scorpio, to listen to your body and to just relax. Whatever has to be done. I mean, unless it's a life or death situation, I would say give yourself at least a day's rest this week because it will also give you an opportunity to look deeper inside. It appears here as though you're aware that you have some deep macro level questions to answer in life. I always read this as an esoteric or occult level card just because it's ancestral, ancestral spirits, heavy spirits, the spirit world, the unseen. So there's a lot going on here internally, in the subconscious. You might not be fully aware that this is going on, but I do feel that you know that you need to rest in order to get to this place, and you may not know why you needed to rest. Like I said, your physical body might even be tired for a day or two this week, and where any other week you might normally try to push through it. And I don't mean sick, I don't mean you feel sick or have a cold or anything, I just mean low energy. If that's the case, I would really pay attention to that, Scorpio. This is an opportunity for you to find in your dreams or in a beta state or, half awake type thing, that you are able to locate the questions you need to ask this week more efficiently. And it's interesting, I recognize here that I'm saying questions, you have to locate the questions as opposed to locating the answers this week. I don't really see a lot of action involved in taking a stance on getting the answer to a question this week. I think the point this week is to ask the right questions. So let's take a look at these one by one up close. So like I said, we have the serendipity card. You can see it's very pink, it's very pleasant, and this fairy is just being swept away on this symbol of luck. You are surrounded by what's going to feel like a lot of luck and support this week. You have probably created this for yourself, and it's just as likely that you have a great deal of resources at your disposal. And when I say resources, I mean helpful individuals, earth angels, money, time, space, etc. So I don't think you feel stuck this week. You definitely don't feel trapped. And I don't see any depression here. But I do see, because of what's going on beneath the surface here or behind the scenes, is it looks like everything's easygoing, sort of smooth waters, but there's definitely something churning underneath. I wouldn't say it's bad. I think that asking questions is always a positive thing. It's just that it might take up a lot of mental and emotional energy. So we're going to look at the recent past. We have exchanging gifts, and like I said, a great deal of pink, which is very feminine. So feminine relationships with females, or even the friend that you have, the friend that you made for yourself, right? It's important to be our own best friend. So this could be about you being in the present with yourself. And because this is your recent past, and then you have the subconscious, which always comes out, it plays a part no matter how it is manifest. I think because you have been allowing yourself currently or just recently to be in the present. Again, if someone just had a birthday or there's a party of some sort and there was actually an exchanging of physical gifts, that's awesome. That means physically in the manifest, in the physical world, this actually happened, which is really cool. But I'm going to read it a little more fluidly, and that is that you've been giving the gift of joy, beauty, love, acceptance, and friendship to yourself, giving yourself everything you need. Now, because of this, like I said, in the subconscious position, you have the card Why. You can see here we have a book with wings on it. This is a very powerful book, obviously. It gives you wings, right? This knowledge will let you fly, will let you rise above, will get you heads and shoulders above where you are now. I'm not going to get into above anyone else. I don't think that highly evolved people are interested in getting bigger or better than someone else. And I really feel right now this week, Scorpio, I think this is really just about you, and I hope this is true, that this is about being a bigger and better person than you are, because this is what you want to do for yourself. This is what you desire. Now, as you can see here, we have an Aboriginal individual. So this is about ancestors. This is deep knowledge, esoteric knowledge. I'll even add occult knowledge. But you can see that it's not dark. This is not a dark energy. This is not magic necessarily, and it's certainly not an abuse of power unless we pull the horse card as an additional message. I would just say that and he's in a wheat field, or she is in a wheat field, and the sunrise or sunset is on him or her. So You have a great deal of energy to spend on these questions. These are very pertinent to you. They are important to a macro life decision or position. And when I say macro, I just mean large, overarching 5-10 year plan as opposed to micro, meaning small, personal, and 2 to 6 month plan. This is large questionings for large issues. It could even be, this isn't about why is the sky blue? This is like, why are we here? What is my purpose? Okay. Not that those are your specific questions, Scorpio, but certainly that it could be that deep and extremely personal because it's about you, even on a macro level. So where do you fit? What do you want to do? Etc. But the question here is why. And like I said, as I was laying them down, I'm not going to encourage an action week. I think it's important to spend time here and to keep giving yourself the gift of pleasantry, freedom, kindness, being in the present, literally, like she's in the present, right? So this is really just a lovely gift to give yourself. It's also a beautiful way to express yourself in the world. Believe it or not, when we come to terms with ourselves and are peaceful and friendly to ourselves and have loving internal dialogue, etc., that extends out to the world like a massive ripple. So anytime you feel, or if it ever occurs that you're spending too much time in yourself and this is all about you and it should be about blah blah blah, I would say that you really are generating a lot of health and happiness and healing for everyone if you are in process of this in your own life. So never take that for granted or never feel like you should be anything, right? Doing something else or helping someone else or anything like that. It's just important to help yourself. Loved ones are watching too, so they could be learning at a distance. You may not even have to speak a word. They might be looking at you and find that you seem to know what you're doing and you seem to know how to be healthy, and they'll just follow suit. So I think it could be a very influential week as well. So in the conscious or outside influence card, we have the time for a nap. This is, again, a lot of these are literal for me. And then interpreted according to their position. This is really, again, just asking you to slow down. These have nearly identical colors, you can see. So these are highly related. In fact, I would suggest that the point of having a nap or slowing down or giving time to the spirit world or giving time to ask questions, to ask big questions, means that you have to slow down, because sitting still, believe it or not, is a really difficult thing to do. It's, century-old mystics and gurus have been saying this for thousands of years, and it's like humanity can't wrap its head around it for some reason. And that is that the troubles of the world could be solved if man or woman could only sit still. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But think about that for a second. When was the last time you sat still? Probably not in a long time, or probably not for a long time. It's actually really difficult. But if this is your path, or if this appeals to you this week, or if you think this might be a good motivation for you to try it, I'm going to suggest that you try it this week. If meditation, capital M meditation, doesn't appeal to you this week, find something that is relaxing and meditative, maybe even a massage, something that feels like a nap, feels like you can escape the physical world for a little while, leave drugs out of it. Something that is relaxing, releasing, therapeutic, and then in this space, ask these large questions for yourself. I really love the Y card because it is a seeker card, and in that sense, I equate it to the sign Sagittarius because it's the searcher, it's the learner, the philosopher. The professor. So what you're going to find here is not only going to assist you in your own life, Scorpio, but on a grand scale, because it is macro thinking, macro questions, large scale questions. Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? What's that big question for you, okay, is really about feeling your position in the world, and ultimately, like I mentioned just a moment ago, anytime we heal any part of our own lives, we really do create a ripple effect in the world. So if this is you and you're doing these activities this week, oh, I didn't read New Life, sorry. If this is going on, I would say that you're doing humanity actually a great benefit. So thank you if that's the case. Sorry, I almost missed this card. So in your probable outcome, you have the New Life card. So here we have not only a fairy with wings, she can now fly, but she's come out of some sort of cocoon. This is actually an egg. This is about fertility, fertility of ideas, behaviors, attitudes, but it also means you can fly. You're taking off, but you're new at this, so maybe be really gentle with yourself. Even if it's in process of these questions, even if it's in process of learning how to be still, to relax. I'm going to mention quickly too, I believe the reason why these mystics for thousands of years have been saying, all humanity's problems could be solved if it were for the ability of man to sit still. This may be a new practice for you, and I'm going to suggest it won't be easy. It certainly wasn't for me years ago. And the reason why it's not easy is because when we sit still, we don't have anything to distract us, and we are stuck with our own thoughts. Okay, now if that terrified you, that means it's probably a good idea to learn to sit still, even if for a little bit at a time over a period of time. In fact, I'm a little bit of a fan of that personally. That's how I accomplished this type of self-liberation, frankly, over the past few years. It was not about trying to jam a bunch of healing into a short period of time, for example, Scorpio. It was really about making the commitment to myself, right? Asking difficult questions, knowing I was safe, being in the present, but also saying that I trust myself, that I can take care of, or that I can handle anything that comes my way, including what comes up in the thought or meditative process. So in saying that, I'm going to suggest, if this is new for you and you want to try it, perhaps try it with a timer, 5 minutes for the first day, 10 minutes or 8 minutes for the second day, even if there's a day in between. I mean, it's your schedule. You figure that part out. But if it's new for you, ease yourself into it, or it probably will feel a little bit overwhelming, and that's a turnoff, right? That's hard on anybody. So ease yourself into it. It looks like you have some time to play with here. This is something that is supposed to take time. You're supposed to let it sit, let it, and it meaning your mind, your thoughts, become in tune with them. And this is a good week to begin. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the listening card. I'm going to suggest that this is about listening to what spontaneous answers arise from this meditative state. Like I said, in order to get here, and I hope you can see that these two card colors are nearly identical. These almost belong together, if you get my drift. It's almost like you can do these on their own, right? You can take a nap, and then you can ask all the big questions. Yep. But hey, if you can put these together, I just feel like it's a fast track, and I think it's really going to make things a little bit simpler for you. So in looking at these two things, my suggestion here is when you are in that state of mind, to allow yourself the flow for ancestral advice or spirit, asking spirit or your guardian angel, or your own, if you have a relative who is no longer on the physical plane, someone that you trust, okay, that you can rely on, even your inner self. If you have a strong inner core and you trust your inner voice, for example, I would begin listening to that in this meditative or relaxed state of questioning large concepts for yourself. It's interesting because we all have this little voice in our head, right? It's kind of weird in that sense because it always is our guide, and I think it's the reason why it's the higher voice, it's the higher level voice. And it's interesting because here she is down here sort of listening to the higher level voice, and I think that's what's going on this week, Scorpio, or certainly what Spirit is asking for you to partake in this week. So again, really nothing negative here. That's not what's going on at all. Just some heart-to-heart moments with yourself this week. Asking the big questions. Being in the present, literally. Being in the moment, letting yourself sit and be aware. Another really interesting way I've learned to meditate without sitting still, but by being still, is to contemplate nature. One way that I do that personally is if you have a plant in your home or an animal nearby, or you can visit the woods, or please don't go to aquariums and zoos. But if you can find yourself in nature, a really beautiful way to contemplate while not sitting still, but still being in a sort of beta state where you're sort of mesmerized, meditative, um, um, able to receive messages, able to listen on a deeper level without distraction, is simply to contemplate nature. So that could be a leaf on a tree. And I hope that doesn't sound ridiculous. If it does, try it. Okay, how about that? If that sounds ridiculous, Scorpio, I'm going to suggest even more that you try it. And if you think that a leaf might be a bit too much for you right now, and you'd like to contemplate or study in stillness, perhaps an animal in nature, then go, by all means, go for that too. A bird, a squirrel, depending on where you live, of course, what these animals are. It's really interesting to get into the zone of another animal, and it really does help with creating a sense of stillness, because it is completely out of your own head. It is out of your own mind, and you will find in these contemplative moments, I really believe this week, Scorpio, that if you're listening and not programming and exerting, I think that you'll find a lot of the answers are available to you already. It's everything we have that we need is within, obviously. That's true for all of us. But I think for this week, it's especially true for you, Scorpio. I really try to keep these under 20 minutes. Okay, so let's get another card here. See what the final message is for the spread. Whenever learning something new or taking a new direction or trying something unfamiliar, I just want to add as well that it's always really important to be gentle and kind with yourself. And if something is overwhelming or you find difficult to accept at the time, I'm going to suggest as well a belly laugh. Try to find the humor in it, Scorpio. Humor is extremely healing, and it's relaxing and very releasing. And again, like I said, any progress toward healing for the self is a ripple effect for all of humanity. So I really personally appreciate you doing this hard work for yourself. I know it's not easy, but it will be worth it. There will be freedom from what ails you or troubles you or you feel trapped in. And it will be worth it, and then other people will benefit, so it's a win-win. Okay, so any second now we're going to get another card. If I don't in the next few seconds, I'm just going to draw from the top of the deck. I usually try to keep all shuffling under 2 minutes. Yay! So at the bottom of the deck we have fear. Rabbit, its keyword is fear. Again, this might be something new for you. You may not want to go there. You may be clinging to the past. Welcome to the human condition. But I trust yourself that you can get out of this. You're better than this. And this is your path. You're meant to be asking these questions. You're meant to listen. It is going to feel a little bit scary because it's new. and it's different, and it's going to eventually change things for you. But believe me, Scorpio, you're ready. You're always ready because you always have what it takes. So trust in the higher good for yourself, okay? That is it for my dear Scorpio. I so hope that you enjoyed the reading. I hope that it was healing and helpful. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments. Thanks for liking and sharing. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel for weekly readings. That being said, please take good care of yourself. I will see you next week for your next weekly reading. Bye for now.